Good evening, good evening. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News. I am your host tonight, Brian Taylor Bridges. I am your host, Brian Taylor Bridges. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News, y'all. Come on in and join me tonight, y'all. Got a little road rage incident out of Florida, you all. And, this one ended on a good note. Yeah, I said it, a road rage incident that actually ended on a good note, you all. So I want to come in for a brief moment and reminisce a little bit, you all. Reminisce about the good old days when people would have some kind of altercation and have a quick little box it out, duke it up a little bit, and go on about their business, you all. And in this particular situation, I don't condone fighting, unless it's some UFC or some heavyweight, lightweight championship fighting, some boxing, something that we would pay to or pay per view to watch two men duke it out. Now they have the UFC that's taking over pretty much the boxing industry, you all, because this is more of a contact sport. So it kind of brings a little more excitement, a little more gut to the actual boxing, you all, because it's mixed with martial arts, wrestling, so forth and so on. But like I said, in this particular situation, we have two men that was in a confrontation with one another, jumped out of their vehicles and decided to duke it out, you all. But in this particular case, at the end of it, they shook hands like two men, you all. I said they shook hands like two men and parted their separate ways, you all. No one went to jail. No one pressed charges on each other. No one pulled out a knife. Nobody tried to kill nobody, because at the end of it, they really kind of looked at each other like, man, it's dumb. Little Shorty Wood looked like he wanted to swing on Ken again, you all, because actually the Ken Buffer dog, the white guy, you all, he proceeded to cut the man off in his truck, you all. And mind you, he was in a work truck when this particular guy was in a personal vehicle, you all. And like I said, the young man was in his work truck, and they both probably was in some kind of frustrating situations, or maybe had some kind of stressful day, you all. But like I said, it was very nice to see two men resolve their issues like men and live to fight another day, you all. I said to live to fight another day. These men can actually go on and go to work tomorrow, wake up and hug their kids, hug their wives, and, actually continue to live productive lives, you all. Like I said, this one was pretty funny. But copyright disclaimer under Title 17 U.S.C. Sections 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news report, teacher scholarships, and research. Fair use permitted by the copyright statute and might otherwise be infringed. Non-profit, educational, and personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use, you all. Tips to balance in favor of fair use. Yeah, I remember back in the day. Like I said, in my particular generation, I'm getting old, you all. So, like I said, back in the day, you all, we would have these different little incidents and situations with these, with people that can kind of have a normal fight, you all. We would actually go to the other side of town and, it would possibly be some kind of splash dance or some kind of popping event where we was doing some break dancing in these particular places, you all. And mind you, it'll be a house full of people. We'll have 50 to 100 people in one house having a house party, you all. And, back then it really wasn't that many guns on the street. You know, people would get shot. You would hear about one of your friends getting shot, or somebody would get shot and they would actually live, you all. At this particular time, it was a lot of 25s on the street and 22s, you all. But you probably get hit by 2 or 3 times to still live, you know. But nowadays, these kids is pulling out machine guns, armor guns, grenades, knives, and sticks, and everything else. And usually they get themselves in more trouble than they set out to do, you all. I said that usually they get themselves in more trouble than they set out to actually do. You know, like I said, we should have new class curriculums on the value of life. We should have new class curriculums on the value of life. You know, maybe that'll help some of these youngsters, you know, make better decisions, you all. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and pretty much read the clipping to you all, as well as share the video content, because like I said, when you read it, it usually gives you a better description than the actual video, you all. And it also helps with my reading, because I'm not the most the most best reader in the world. Nothing of any kind of perfect statue, you all. So just bear with me a minute. Anyway, this one say, you all, it said, fight it out, let it go. Wynwood road rage confrontation has unexpected ending, you all. Like I said, it was very unexpected ending, because, as a pedestrian, I would never cut off a work vehicle, and this particular man was so upset that he proceeded to cut off what would be a short bed 18-wheeler, you all. It would be of similarity, an 18-wheeler without an extended cab, without a cab that you can possibly sleep in, shower in, and so forth of that nature, you all. It's just a single front end size work truck where you can hook a particular trailer to this particular truck, and make your loads, drop off your whole trailer if you need to, and possibly drive it home at the end of the day if you park your trailer somewhere, in a good location, you all. But anyway, this particular man proceeded to cut this young man off, and he jumped down out of his little truck. And when he jumped down, you all, he's a little short fella, so I guess old boy proceeded to go and grab him like he was gonna go and rev him up. But like I say, they stood their ground as men. Got into a quick wrestling match, threw a couple of blows, and then shook hands, you all. Like I said, it was the most peaceful thing I seen in a long, long time. I said that it was the most peaceful thing I seen in a long time. We had just lost a pastor a few months ago, a very dear pastor to the whole Houston community, by the name of Pastor Mouton, in a road rage incident, you all. And it was very sad to lose this particular brother, this particular man of God, due to some kind of road rage incident, due to somebody making a bad turn or maybe cutting you off. Like I said, one of the things in this situation is to always be a gentleman, always be a polite and kind person where you don't mind letting people go ahead of you. This kind of way you can keep yourself out of these type of situations, you are. But like I said, in this particular case, it was pretty cool and a pretty cool ending. It said a road rage incident in Wynwood took a turn when two men turned the argument into a boxing match in the middle of the street. But it didn't end how you might think, you all. Witnesses say it started near the corner of Northwest 29th Street and 2nd Avenue. The car jumped in front of the truck. They started arguing, and then one thing led to another, and that's when the video started, said DJ Yo-Yo. And on air DJ in Miami, you all. It said Yayo says he initially jumped out of the car and tried to stop the fight, and then he pulled out his phone and started filming once the two men started throwing punches. He said first they was arguing, he's trying to, hey, y'all stop that, and trying to tell him. So as they proceeded to start fighting, he just went on here and pulled out his phone. And usually I would say, I was talking to this one youngster the other day about particularly pulling out his phone and when in a situation where actually he should have helped this particular young man who was proceeded to get beat by a group of individuals, you all, my whole group of individuals. So I was proceeding to say the young man should have actually intervened. Sometimes you get yourself particularly hurt in this particular situation. But DJ Yo-Yo, he said it off the top, you all. Man, I wasn't getting hit by now one of them punches, trying to break up a fight. And that's usually what happened, you all. Sometimes you grab the people the wrong way, you might catch one from the back, or you might catch one, somebody might turn around and just spur off on you, because they actually fighting, and it's, you never know who grabbing you from the back. Sometimes it's people helping you, and sometimes people holding you actually so somebody can get off a punch on you. So, like I said, in this particular case, the DJ was like, man, just let me get the footage, just in case it go bad. But one thing I am not doing, I am not getting hit by one of these punches, you all. So, like I said, he said once he seen him start swinging, he pulled out his phone. He said the street scuffle lasted just 1 minute, you all. And usually in an old school fight, that's how long it lasts. I don't know if any of you ever went to some particular boxing classes, so forth and so on. But we used to box a little bit at the Salvation Army Boys Club in the South End, you all. And these rounds, they get long. I said that them rounds is long. A 3-minute round, it seemed like 15, 20, 30 minutes, you all. I said it seemed like 15, 20, 30 minutes. So back then, particularly, when guys are fighting, it really don't last long when you in a hood fight, because really somebody gonna get knocked out. Or if they don't get knocked out or drop this over. And we had an old song back in the Gap called "You Better Not Fall," or they gonna make you read them Nikes, some things of that nature, you all. But like I said, it never resulted into some actual murder, you all. I mean, we could actually have a beef back then and have a good little fight. And like I said, you better not come home crying. Your tail was going back out there and get it back on again, you all. But like I said, never in no situation where we was bringing guns back to the fight, so forth and so on. It might be 15 or 20 of us, and 2 of us might have like I say, we might be lucky to have 12 of us, and 1 of us have a 22. And we, like I said, we was all going to do some breakdancing or some popping or something of that nature, you all. But like I said, it never ended as bad as things do end today, you all. It said, I think the youngest, you all need to look at this video and take it from it, you all. It said, DJ Yo said, instead of getting yourself caught up and locked up over some dumb stuff, a squabble or squabble it out is just as good, you all. Because he said, whether if you win or lose, you still won, because you actually, you living, you all. You actually moving on to the next day, you all. Like I said, this was, it was pretty cool to me, you all, that this particular thing has happened between 2 men, and they were able to part on some good terms, you all. Let me let you read this clip, and so I can possibly jump on something else. Thank you, that lady. Thank you for joining me. John Matt Brian Bridges, if you will, Brien, just like my name spelled, but without Taylor. I don't know if you're actually able to see that.
He's walked away and
thank you.
shook hands. 76 reporter Laura Rodriguez spoke to the man who took the video and witnessed the bizarre confrontation.
This is such a Miami story. A guy wearing shorts and slides faces off against a truck driver, but I have to give it to both of them. This fight was strictly old school. A roadside full caught on camera. Yo, stop! Several people got out of their cars near Northwest 29th Street and 2nd Ave to see who packed a stronger punch. Witnesses say it began as a case of road rage.
Car jumped in front of the truck. They start arguing, and one thing led to another. That's when the video started, you know?
DJ Yo-Yo says he initially jumped out of the car to try and stop the fight.
Yo, stop! Police! But once I see them start swinging, I'm like, I'm not catching no blows for nobody.
I ain't catching one of them.
The handshake, a positive resolution to what could have been more violence.
Fight it out and let it go. That's what they did last night. That was a perfect example of how we used to handle it back in the days, the old school ways.
Thousands of people have liked and commented on the video via Only Invade. Some critiquing their boxing skill level, but most just glad to see it was a good old fist fight without weapons.
I think the youngest, y'all need
me too.
Look at this video and take from it. Instead of you getting yourself caught up and locked up over something dumb that you can just squabble it out and fight real quick and get it over with. Who cares if you lose? That's a win. You in the combat. You feel me?
It's always great to see a peaceful resolution, and I have to say, reading through the comments on Only in.
Yeah, like I said, it could have, it could have went sour, either way, like I said, it wasn't, choosing those sides in that, because, you see two men of different color, actually fighting you all, but I don't really know who was in the wrong. I know the man cut this man off, and this was something that he should not have done, you all. Like I said, I don't condone no fighting, but I don't condone that you kill nobody either. If somebody run up on you, y'all know what to do. I ain't got to tell y'all that anyway. You supposed to defend yourself, God don't want you to just go and lay it down like that. That is not my belief. So anyway, I just didn't want to tear it too long. I just want to, share this peaceful moment. Like I say, that's something that started pretty bad, and it could have very well ended worse. It could have ended in a bad way, and then, these two men ended just like they started, just like me and you all, and that was something peaceful to see. God first, Christ gang. We are. Peace. Thank you.